Hi everyone, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. Today is October 16th, 2024, and this is the second part of a FlossTube where I show you some of my more out-of-the-box or creative finishes. Oftentimes people give me compliments on some of the ways that I finish things that aren't your standard throw it in a frame or make a pillow out of it type of thing. And so I wanted to show you the different ways that you can let your imagination take you and do something that's maybe just a little different than what you've been doing in the past. So if you haven't already watched part one, I didn't want it to be a long video. I wanted to keep them short, and yet when I started pulling things out, I thought I'd have 10, and then I realized there were other things that I really wanted to show you as well. So that's where the two-part came in, and the more I think about it, I think I'm going to show you finishing pieces that I have in my stash. I've got a closet shelf that's only half the width, and it's up high in the closet, so it's a place where I wouldn't normally use things anyways, and I've put a lot of things that I find at thrift stores up there, waiting for inspiration, or just, you know, sometimes you just need to take the time and create something with it on purpose. So I think it might be fun to show you some of those pieces as well. So eventually, when I can pull some of those things down, there'll be a part 3 to this video. And there's a couple pieces that I have something in mind for that I'm just going to show you and see what you think. If you think along the same lines as what I think for the piece, might be a fun experiment. But anyways, these are things that I've come up with, and, you know, not always 100% inspired by myself, but a lot of them just are based on seeing a finishing piece and knowing that it'd be the perfect size for what I'd want to do. So let's just jump in. This little pocket was, I think it's a Brenda Gervais, and these things all get all scattered as you take them off the wall. But I just made a little Patriotic Pocket out of it. I used Leanne's pop top hanger idea, which works great, and just made some felt, or not felt, but wool flowers, and have some wooden stars that go in there. Of course, it gets much a better arranged when I have it up on the wall and can play around with it. But this was pretty easy. I think I did slip, I have a piece of mat board in there so that it holds a shape. And then I used some fiberfill just to give it a little bit more body. But a very simple finish, and really looks cute once you have it up on the wall. Then I don't have the other band that I've made for this already, but basically a pillow with a little sleeve that goes over it that is removable. I made this because of stitching a Scarlet house, was it a strawberry chart? And the chart for the separate little piece looked, in my mind, like it was a continuation of the big piece. And then when I got it done, I'm like, where the heck does this go? And so I didn't want to lose that piece. So I ended up putting the main stitching on the front, and then that little carryover is on the back. And then the more I thought about it, it's like, well, let's do it in a fabric that lends itself to making these for other times of the year. So right now I have Everyday, I have Patriotic, and I don't know that I'll get one for fall, but perhaps I can do one for Christmas, and then that'll be kind of a nice thing to have. You know me and my seasons. Back when I was new to as a returning stitcher, I did the 4 Lizzie Kate seasons, and then there really wasn't a frame that I liked, and so I did stacked mat boards with various fabrics for the different seasons. But for $3.29, I found this trivet that I think was supposed to hang on the wall, and it's perfect for switching them out. All I have to do, the little prongs come up, and I just left the trivet part behind it just to give it a little bit more body. But most times I'll just put this, instead of hanging on the wall, I'll just put it on an easel and have it leaning up somewhere as I switch them out from season to season. Another Brenda Gervais piece, I wanted something that I could hang on a peg that would be very lightweight, and so I found this wooden snowflake, and it already had it was meant to hang, it was unfinished, but it already had the twine on it, so I just painted it and then created a circle out of mat board and stretched the finished piece around it, put a little twine on it, and it was done. Really quick and easy, and I like it because I can hang it on a peg on a shelf, and it's really lightweight, so I don't have to worry about it getting in the way of anything. So I found that pillar candle holders really are a great way to find things for finishing. And I found this pewter one. Either that or it was a little serving piece. Or maybe even for champagne, like a champagne, you know, a wine holder. Keep it from sweating on the table. Regardless, I thought it would be a great finishing piece for a little Valentine's piece because it has the heart motifs on the side. And, you know, so easy. Just double mounted it, cut some circles out of mat board and double mounted it. I think I have a little Warm and Natural underneath to give it a little poof. And then I put some cording around it, made a little bow, and it was done. And this too, I just put on an easel and call it done. A couple of these are Valentine pieces, I guess. So I had found this paper mache mailbox, and I found this. Someone had stitched this piece and I just loved it, so I ordered the little book it was from. This is another one that I treated with walnut shell liquid after I had stitched it. But I basically printed off some more vintagey looking Valentine motifs. And first I covered the box in scrapbook paper, and then pasted some of those on, put some antiquing over it. I don't have everything that I use to display this, but I leave it open. And then I have like these other mail related vintage free things that I had printed off. I just put scrapbook paper on the back, and all kind of mail related. And then this one is an actual Valentine. And then what I do is I just, you know, obviously have some little pillows and range it most more, a little nicer than this, but have them all spilling out of the mailbox. So kind of a fun piece, and just a little bit different than you would normally see. Then this piece, I've only got one set of, these are they Lori Holtz, the stitch card pieces, and I really intended, this thing spins, so it's for photos. You can see that they're just a little too thick. So because I really thought I would do other months, but I don't have the chart, so they're just on magnets and washers. So someday if I get to stitch some of the other ones, I can do that. And then I just made this little topper for on top, and it's just a very cute, quick little finish for something that probably a lot of people would just make into little pillows, but always nice to have another option. And once again, I believe this was this was a charger for the table. So you would put this on your table and then put your plate on top of this. But I thought it lended itself to being a patriotic finish. And this too, I also use the kind of engineered my fabric count to fit in this space, and looked at a lot of round patriotic stitching pieces and found this one. I think it's a Brenda Gervais, and it looks really cute in there. And then this little twine, I just went around the outside and then tied a knot in it, and it's finished. And then this design, I found this little, like one of those chipboard hearts, and I wound some more, I mean, it almost looks like silk ribbon, but it's not. I think it's a polyester. First off, I painted it, then I wove the ribbon through the holes. I found this little button for the bottom. This chart actually was a freebie from Liz Matthews. I think it came out during the pandemic and said hope. And so I thought it would be perfect for a Valentine's piece. So I just changed the words to love instead. And I really meant to flip the flowers because I thought, oh my gosh, you know, with just a little bit more indentation there, they'd really look like hearts on a stem, but I forgot to do that. So anyways, I think it looks really cute, and it can go on a frame or like hanging on a peg. And so it's lightweight, and my Christmas one like this. And, but this was a Valentine's piece. I found, as you can see in the tin, I found this at a thrift store, and right away I'm like, oh, this would be another great one to do some stitched Valentine pieces. And I found these little hearts. I think they were, you know, where beads are and that sort of thing. So I was able to push glue just a little wooden peg up them. And I have a piece of styrofoam in the inside, and it all just gets pushed into there. And the stitch pieces, these 3 stitch pieces, I just did on mat board, and then I put some fabric on the back side and some twine around the outside. But, you know, not too complicated or labor intensive, no sewing machine required, and you have yourself a cute little finish without having to, you know, invest a lot of money. If I decide to switch these out into pillows, I can easily do that, but I know I won't because I like little tin. So the whole point is basically to let your mind wander when you go in the thrift store, or even when you look at some of the things you have around you in your house. Sometimes there's a piece that you can just grab and it's not meant for what you're going to use it for, but you can just do something a little bit more unique and fun and think outside the box or the brain. So I think I will gather together for part 3, and it probably won't be for a little while because I would like to make a regular floss tube soon. I've got so much to talk about and so much to show that I know it's going to be a long one. So I will gather together those things, and there's one specifically that I can't wait to show you and see what ideas you give me for it. I know in my mind how I'm going to use it, but it's always fun to see, you know, get tips and thoughts from other people because everybody thinks differently. I've enjoyed showing you these things, and I hope you're inspired somewhat to finish something maybe a little bit in a different way than you have in the past. And you can always turn it into a pillow if you have to. If, you know, believe me, I've done things and then looked at them and thought, I don't like this. So switch them out later on. But I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you're all doing well and continue to fill the world with love. Toodles!